Hey guys, it's True Feltman here, aka Daniel Feltman. Just coming at you guys with a Blue Eyes deck profile, which is something I've been working on for the last month or so, and seeing as there's a new format out, but it gets stronger nonetheless. Anyway, let me get into it. It's a pretty standard thing, but I am running Chaos Max because I do think that card is by far one of the best Blue Eyes cards. Just being untargetable and undestroyable is excellent. I'll do also a combo video later that I'll link to this video at some point about some of the plays that you can do with the Blue Eyes deck with like Sage and Melody can make Crystal Wing turn 1. They're just some nice nifty little plays, nothing too special. If you don't know them, you know, it's something that you could look into. Otherwise, you know, if you do, you can still check it out and see if there's something you didn't know. Otherwise, yeah, I'll get into it. So starting off, we're going to run, obviously in a Blue Eyes deck, you run 3 Blue Eyes White Dragon. This card is great. You just got to be careful about how you manage this card. Like, it's important to try and keep one in the deck and have one in the graveyard, or at least one in your hand. So working on that is the only maybe difficulty with this deck. Otherwise, it just plays itself pretty straightforward. Next you run 3 Ultimate Dragon. This card's excellent. It makes so many rank 8 plays. Also it helps with the Synchro Engine. Very strong card, and I'm glad it's finally out. I guess it's been out for a while, but I'm glad it's part of the deck. The other 3 of is Sage of Blue Eyes. Oh sorry, Sage with Eyes of Blue. This card has just so many different plays. It is such an excellent card. It is the best level 1 tuner in the deck, and it just works. It makes the deck run so much smoother or quicker or aggressively, which is exactly what you want from the deck. For the Sage, for Sage, you have the 2 targets of Effect Veiler. I think I might be cutting this down to 1 next format. I know the card was good this format, and at 2 it was perfect because you could search it or you had the chance of drawing it, which was great. But now that Monarchs may not be as strong, I don't think running 2 is going to be that important, so we'll see how we go in the future, but yeah. 2 at the moment. The other 2 of is the White Stone of Ancients. This card's really good. It's great for helping you manage the resources of the Blue Eyes Dragons with the trade-ins, the melodies. You know, you can go through a lot of cards really quickly. This card sort of strengthens your hand so that you can continue to play, because the big problem with Blue Eyes is that once they lose their hands, they run out of moves very quickly and they sort of slow down, which allows your opponent to catch up. Mainly another reason why I run Chaos Max, because the card just fights your opponent on its own. Speaking of Chaos Max, we run 2 Manju for the searches of the ritual cards, or the Chaos Max. Melody can search Chaos Max, so if you already have a ritual in hand, this card can search the Chaos Max, but if you have this card in Melody, you essentially can search the Chaos Max and the ritual, which is amazing, really good. Excellent plays, as well as, actually I might mention that summoning this, adding a ritual, spell, or monster, and then using Sage to target this card to summon a Blue Eyes is absolutely amazing. It summons some seriously good. It can just create back row removal or just rank 8 plays. Anyway, we've got the Chaos Max, run 2 of it. This card is untargetable, undestroyable by opponent's card effects. So it is essentially a Cosmo card that just beats everything and does double piercing to defense position. So BA is going to be a really strong matchup next, or this format, sorry, with the new ban list. It's going to be probably one of the more common decks out there, and this card is just something they can't deal with. They can make F0 and you have Ayla, so that stops that, which is what you want. So, and then you can just pierce other cards and do 3,000 damage to Dante, so even in defense position. So it's excellent. It just does, it puts in a lot of work. Next for the 1-offs, so that's all the 2s and 3s. For the 1-offs, I run Master with Eyes of Blue. This card has a lot of synergy with the deck. It can summon back your Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon Synchro monster after it's tributed itself by shuffling itself into the deck and targeting an effect monster you control. So it has a lot of good synergy with the other tuners, the Manju, yeah. And on summon it adds a level 1 tuner in case you're unaware, which means that you can, if you've already used a Sage to summon a Synchro, to summon Spirit Dragon, and you summon this card, normal summon this card, you can add back the Sage and then use the Sage's effect to target this card and summon a level 8, which then you could use summon Spirit Dragon, pop a spell card, or sorry, banish a spell card, and then this card in the graveyard you can shuffle it into the deck and target a Spirit Dragon, a Blue-Eyes Spirit Dragon that's in your graveyard, special summon that and send the Dragon Spirit of White into the graveyard, and then revive that again with whatever revival cards you have. So the card's amazing. Next we run 1 White Stone of Legends. Card added is Blue Eyes. It's a level 1 tuner, so it is searchable with Sage, but mainly use it off Dragon Shrine. And then next we run the Dragon Spirit of White. I'm only running 1 because this card is something you never want to draw. There has been a couple of times where I wish I've had 2 because it's just something that puts in work for back row removal just by banishing cards, so it hurts Cosmo a lot, and it could start to hurt BA with their traps, Monarchs as such, but yeah, I only run it at 1 because I just never want to draw it. Drawing this card is just the worst thing that can ever happen. Like, it is dead in your hand unless you have Trade-In or Melody or a way to get rid of it, and I only run a very few number of cards that get rid of it, so it's not something I want to run max out on. Next for the Chaos Max, I run 1 of each ritual spell, 1 advanced ritual art to send the Blue Eyes from the deck to the graveyard, and 1 Chaos Form to send a Blue Eyes from the graveyard, banish it to summon the Chaos Max from the hand. The good thing about that is Alternate Dragon is a Blue Eyes White Dragon in the graveyard, so if you have to send it off a Melody, which means you can't revive it by, you can't revive it with Revival of the Dragon Lords, you can use Chaos Form to banish that Alternate Dragon and essentially get use out of the card in the graveyard, which is pretty nifty. Next I run Book of Eclipse. It is mainly in here for the Chaos Max, but it also, I found, outs some of the other nasty boards that can be made by Monarchs or by Pendulums. When Pendulums play Secret Village, you can normal summon the Sage, at which point Kieran's going to bounce the card. You're going to have to, you activate the effect of Sage, adding a tuner. Kieran's going to activate its effect to bounce the card so you don't get spells. You can play this card and then it flips all their monsters face down, which means they control no spellcasters anymore, which means you can now continue your play, which is obviously very good. And against Monarchs, they can play March of the Monarch, so you can't target their Monarch, tribute summon Monarchs, and then they summon like a Vanities or a Majesty's Fiend. Really, really annoying. Majesty's Fiend not so much because you just can attack over it, but Vanity's Fiend, this card just goes cool, it's now face down, and yes, it is still a tribute summon monster, but at least you can play the game, and you can just summon an alternate dragon attack over, so it's really good. I have been thinking about bumping it up, but we'll see. Next I run 1 Silver Scry. I never want to draw into 2 of this card because you can only use it once per turn, and it's great that it's a quick play, but it just only summons the vanillas, and that doesn't happen. The vanillas are in the graveyard, but Alternate Dragon is mainly the card you want to get off the revival, so instead of running 3 of, like 2 or 3 of this card, I run 3 of the Dragon Lord, Revival of the Dragon Lords instead. Next, Soul Charge. This card is bananas. You can make some obscene plays like Spirit Crystal and Hope Harbinger turn 1. Yeah, it's just really interesting to see what you can do with this card because it works so well with Blue Eyes. Next I run 2 Dragon Shrine. I think you need to run it at 2. I don't think you need to run it at 3 because it's only once per turn, and it is very much like Foolish Burial, except for the fact that it's really good at thinning your deck where you need to, and adding the right cards so that you can start making more plays, which is excellent. The sending 2 cards is really relevant with the revival that we have, as well as the second card that you send is generally the card that you wanted in the first place. Then 3 is Melody. You know, obviously this card is great. Works really well with Alternate Dragon and Blue Eyes, and even Chaos Max because it's searchable. So you could pretty much discarding a card to add 2 things that you want. And if you have like White Stone of Legend, you discard a card and you add all 3 types of Blue Eyes. It's just really fun to play. Next you run 3 Trade-In. Card's great. you summon your alternate dragon by revealing Blue Eyes, and you activate Tradent and sending the same Blue Eyes. So it really utilizes the Blue Eyes that you have in your hand, which is excellent. And then next we have 3 Return of the Dragon Lords. This card's by far one of the best spells that's in the deck. So there's 16 spells and 20 monsters. So the 4 cards left are traps, which are going to be 1 Solemn Warning, and then the other card I run is 3 Solemn Scolding. Anyway, that's the main deck. For the extra, I run 2 Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, and then I run 1 Azure Eyes. I've never needed to summon a second. Then I run 1 Michael, 1 Moonlight, and 1 Ancient Fairy Dragon as the level 7 dragons, light level 7 dragons. Michael for removal, same thing with Moonlight Rose, and then Ancient Fairy Dragon, sort of removal, sort of extending plays. Next for the 8s, I run Stardust Spark Dragon. I mainly run this just for floodgating, so like game 2 and 3, side in floodgates, and if I can make Spirit Dragon and I get a floodgate, I normally make Spirit Dragon, summon this card, and if it's like anti-spell fragrance or something like that, I just summon Spirit Dragon, tag out, summon this card, protect itself, and then on my opponent's turn, activate the anti-spell. This card effect activates targeting the anti-spell, and it protects it from being destroyed, so even if they had the MST, it just doesn't do anything, which is excellent. And the other 8 is Crystal Wing, but next for the mirror match I run Blue Eyes Twin Burst Dragon. This card's also really good against Cosmo. It's also really good against just cards that you can't remove, because if they don't die by battle, this card banishes them, and it can attack twice on monsters, which is excellent. That's it for Synchros and Fusions, and then I run for Ranked Monsters number 46. This card's great in the mirror match again. Felground, the only non-dragon in the entire thing. Hope Harbinger card is great, absolutely love making it, it's awesome. And then I run the Galaxy package. This one has the Cypher Dragon, full armor, and dark matter. Thank you guys. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment, and let me know what you think. Your opinions are, really good to hear from. I'll probably make that combo video later tonight, and I'll upload that tomorrow. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you later.